Joining me now is Royal Editor for the Daily Mirror, Russell Myers. Russell, politics has finally taken a back seat to the Euros and Wimbledon. What can we expect from the Royals at Wimbledon, and will Princess Catherine make an appearance?
Well, just indeed. It didn't seem like the election was going to end, did it, Cara? Great to see you. But the election has ended and the Royals are getting back to work because they did have to sort of take a back seat. Their schedules had to be rearranged because of the people were going to the polls in the UK. But we've seen a flurry of activity recently. Certainly Wimbledon is going on, the Euro is going on, the Royals very, very interested in that, of course. But a lot of talk has been about whether we will see the Princess of Wales at Wimbledon. We know that it's one of her sort of passion projects. She's very, very involved in the Lawn Tennis Association. But of course, ongoing cancer treatment, and whether she will be well enough to attend. So the chief executive this week said that they were very hopeful that she still would be well enough to attend. They are going to extend that invitation and not make any arrangements for the trophy presentations to the 11th hour. So everyone's keeping their fingers crossed at the moment.
And on to the Euros. William was in fine form cheering England against Switzerland. Here he is celebrating.
We've got royal approval as well, I think. There we go. Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Love that. A bit of anger there, wasn't there?
I think
it was quite the occasion, wasn't it, Russell?
Well, it was. I mean, listen, we didn't make it easy on ourselves. Went to 1-1, extra time, penalties. The England are very, very much cursed at penalties. I think we'd only previously won 4 out of 5 at the Euros. So, listen, we're through to the semi-finals. You can see William doing a bit of a fist pump there. He's obviously very, very pleased, as a lot of us are. But I think everything's crossed for the semi-finals, the finals. Can the boys go on and do it? I'm sure William will be wishing them all well, as he did last night on Twitter as well.
Now, the King and Queen, they've already made their way to Scotland for the summer, but before they go on holiday, they have a number of events. Can you tell us about the garden party at Holyrood House and the Thistle service?
Well, indeed. I mean, it's a very important week for the Royals. It's known as Royal Week or Scotland Week, and the Royals traditionally go up to Scotland for that period of time. Of course, the general election last week did shorten down that element of Royal Week. The King and Queen and other members of the royal family, such as the Prince of Wales, the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh, were up there. And there were still some really important elements because there was the Order of the Thistle service, the rather grand title, the oldest order of chivalry in Scotland. Been going since 1687. It only took them 300 years to allow women in. That was a declaration from the late Queen. And Queen Camilla and the Duke of Edinburgh were sort of all brought into the order to sort of pay tribute to the public service that they have given not only the royal family, but indeed the whole country over the last few years. So I think a very worthy order. But it wasn't just a sort of cathedral elements to it. There was a garden party, 8,000 people invited to the Palace of Holyrood House, which is the King's official residence in Scotland. And they got to sort of sample the delights of Scottish culture. Camilla had a bit of a wee dram, a sort of shot of whiskey that she rather enjoyed, and said that hit the spot. So they seem to have enjoyed themselves.
Fabulous. Now over to the Sussexes, and we understand Meghan has finished filming her latest Netflix program. What is it and how has the idea been received?
Well, we're still sort of waiting to see what it is, but we do know that it's been described as the joys of cooking, gardening, entertaining and friendship. This is part of Meghan's new lifestyle brand that's rumoured to have been filmed with Netflix. What we do are very much expectant that in the coming months. They apparently have just wrapped up filming. Of course, we know that she's just released this jam, even though it's in small batches. There's apparently a line of rosé wine to come out as well, and very much a part of the rebranding of the Sussex machine. So whether Prince Harry will be involved, we're not too sure at the moment. Their last Netflix series about life in California, about leaving the royal family, did break all the records for a debut show. So I think there's quite a lot expected from Meghan.
And a piece which piqued my interest in your masthead, The Mirror, this week, about Harry finding himself in a strangely unfamiliar place and which grows increasingly unfriendly. What was the rationale for that piece?
Well, I think for Prince Harry, it's quite a tumultuous time, hasn't it? I mean, it still seems very, very fresh in the memory, their decision to leave the royal family, both him and Meghan. There was obviously the COVID times that were very unsettling for a lot of people. They first went to Canada, then to America. And have they found their feet? That's certainly a decision that I don't think they've come to. I think that they still are trying to work out what is best for them. Of course, we've seen the Oprah Winfrey interviews, the Netflix series. Harry's book was very, very explosive. Now Meghan's going in a different direction, and Harry's really yet to sort of find what he wants to do for his future. But listen, I think that things with the royal family have been well documented. The fractiousness of that relationship is still very, very raw. And whether that is repaired, I can't see that happening anytime soon.
And if that's the point, Russell, if you can't see it being repaired, then from Harry and Meghan's point of view, what is the next steps, I suppose, to draw out some of the divisiveness in that relationship?
Well, it's interesting, Cara, because the fact remains that Harry and Meghan have done things their own way. They've chosen to go on a certain path. They've chosen to criticise the royal family. We know that Harry has been pulled aside by people, members of the royal family, to say, listen, this isn't the way to go about things. And certainly they need to sort of take the fire out of their relationship in order to try and mend those wounds that have been very, very sore for the royal family and have wounded Harry and Meghan as well, I think. So going forward, I think we're seeing Meghan go in a completely different direction with this lifestyle brand. Where will Harry do some more things with his charity work? It remains to be seen. I still think they're still trying to find their feet 3 or 4 years on.
Fair enough. Now, shocking scenes in the aftermath of Hurricane Beryl in the Caribbean. We understand it's now heading towards the US, but both Prince William and King Charles have offered their support in different ways. How have they done that?
Well, they've both made donations. I think that's very, very important for the royal family. Of course, that the British monarchy has a huge affiliation with the Caribbean. They wanted to make private donations to support those victims of Hurricane Beryl. I mean, large parts of the Caribbean have been absolutely devastated, and it's been very shocking for us to see all around the world of the devastation that has played out. And of course, the King is due a trip to the Caribbean. As part of this sort of royal tours that he wants to get out on. He still needs to get out to the realms and what have you. So I think this is very, very important for the King to keep that association with the people of the Caribbean, and hopefully he will get to go out there and lend his support on the ground in the maybe months or years to come.
Now, lastly, and I've got a little less than a minute for you, usually there's much fanfare around royal babies, but Lady Kitty Spencer, she's been much more subtle than most. Can you tell us the update?
Well, she has indeed. She gave birth to a beautiful baby girl in March. She's chosen to keep the name of her child secret, but she has just revealed it. A beautiful name, Athena, meaning the goddess of wisdom, I understand. So beautiful name. Royal fans very, very intrigued about her relationship and her life, of course, Princess Diana's niece, and we wish her all well, and a beautiful, beautiful name that she's chosen.
And some absolutely beautiful photos of her and her baby on social media. Russell Myers, thank you as always for joining us.